Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. Welcome to the Depression Recovery Channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. Today is Flashback Friday, a feature in which I republish one of my earlier videos you might not have seen that contains really important coping strategies that will help you attain a better mood. Now here's today's video. The title of today's video is, Do You Suffer from the Weapon of Comparison? And before we start, I have to tell my regular joke, and this one again comes from Joel Osteen. Seems like a woman died and went up to heaven, but she was met by St. Peter at the pearly gates, and she said, what do I have to do to get into heaven? He said, it's very simple. You need to spell a word. What word? She said, well, any word you want. Really? How about love? L-O-V-E. Yep, that's good enough. You're in. But then what happens is St. Peter says, God has called me away. We have to do a quick conference. Can you just take my place? It's very simple. Whenever someone comes up to the gate, you ask them to spell a word, give them the word of their choice, and, really, really straightforward. She says, okay, I'll do it for a few minutes. And the next thing she knows, who shows up but her ex-husband. Wow, she says, what are you doing here? He says, well, I had a heart attack. It was unexpected, but here I am. I see we're at the gates of heaven. What do I have to do to get in? She says, well, you just have to spell a word. And what word is that, he asks. She thinks for a minute and says, Czechoslovakia. All right, well, I hope all ex-wives don't do that to their husbands. But as we were saying, today's title is, Do You Suffer from the Weapon of Comparison? As we know, one of the cardinal symptoms of clinical depression is low self-esteem. This low self-esteem is made worse when we compare ourselves to others and find ourselves wanting. For example, a number of people in my group have said, look at Bob over there. He has a 9-to-5 job. He has benefits. What about me? Why can't I have a 9-to-5 job? Why can't I get up that early in the morning? Someone else might say, look at Jim over there. He has everything he wants. He's happy. I just have to struggle to get through the day. That's not fair. Of course, we know these are unfair comparisons because the so-called successful person's brain is not dysregulated like the depressed person's brain. This is why they say in Alcoholics Anonymous, don't compare your insides to other person's outsides. Where does this tendency to compare come from? It seems to be a human trait. In elementary school, children compare themselves to their peers in order to evaluate themselves. In the process, they learn how their physical and their intellectual tendencies or abilities differ. For example, Alice may say, hey, Johnny's a faster runner than I am, but I can throw the football further. However, although it's good to know how we differ from one another, actually basing your self-worth on comparing yourself to others can be a trap because there will always be somebody smarter or more beautiful or wealthier than you are. I remember the story told by the spiritual teacher Ram Dass when he was hanging out with one of his father's rich friends, and he was on a 25-foot long yacht, and the person was feeling very full of themselves until he saw another friend passing by in a 40-foot yacht. Suddenly, he felt like a loser. Here's an example from my own life. I still remember it as if it were yesterday, actually, because it was so embarrassing. But so during a previous severe depressive episode, I was invited to a potluck dinner, and there I met an attractive woman. She was just hired by the prestigious Reed College. She'd gotten her PhD from Harvard. And after describing her accomplishments in great detail, she asked me the dreaded question, so what do you do for a living? What do? I thought, well, I remember what my father said, always be yourself, Doug, tell the truth. So I told the truth. I said, well, I go to day treatment and I'm on Social Security disability. She looked at me with scorn, pity, bemusement, and made a discreet exit. I felt like I had just attended a singles group or a self-help seminar and someone had put a badge on me that said, worthless. Shortly afterwards, I met with my therapist, Pat, who gave me some very helpful advice that's proved to be quite useful. She said that woman might be a hotshot math professor, but your job right now is to heal from this illness. And that's a lot more difficult than simply publishing a math research paper. How do you figure that? I said. She said, look, just being functional, given the pain you're in, is a major accomplishment. The fact that you don't have a financial reward or any prestige does not invalidate the importance of the work you're doing. How do we free ourselves from the weapon of comparison? Well, one way is to go ahead and set some goals, personal goals, and then measure your success by the progress you make towards those goals. Now, the goals can be quite modest. For example, many times a person in my group might say, my goal for today, I just want to be able to get out of bed and make it to the gym. This reminds me of what Martha Manning once said in her book on her depression called Undercurrent. She said, for me, filling the sugar bowl felt like climbing Mount Everest. So even simple things can be really difficult when you're depressed, but you see, it's not about how much you do, it's about the effort you make in doing it. So if you're making an effort and you're meeting the goal, even if it's just getting out of bed for the day, that's worthwhile. And you should be proud of that, and don't worry what anybody else says or how they're doing. It's of no consequence to you. Thus, the important thing to do is to create your own internal definition of success and use that yardstick and no one else's to measure your progress. Now, that's hard to do in this culture that worships power and money, but that's why you should go and find a depression or anxiety support group where you can be around other people who are going through what you're going through and who can provide you with validation and unconditional love. Better to do that than to end up in a meeting of Fortune 500 executives. I like to close with one of my favorite lines from poet and songwriter Bob Dylan, who, as many of you may know, won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And in his song, It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, he says this.
Though the masters make the rules for the wise men and the fools, I got nothing more to live up to.
Yes, we have nothing to live up to externally except to love ourselves and be true to ourselves. And if we do that, that's the most important thing. This has been Douglas Bloch. I hope you found the information on this Flashback Friday video helpful. If so, please give it a like, as likes draw more and more people to this channel and hopefully some more subscribers. You can also leave your comments in the comments section or email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com. If you do want to subscribe to this channel, click on my photo in the closing credits. You'll be taken to my subscribe page. And if you click on the bell to the right, you'll be notified every time I do a new video or live chat. And if you want to contribute to this channel and become a patron, simply click on the Patreon image. You'll be taken to my crowdfunding site. And until next video, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much.